Violent clashes over the entry of humanitarian aid into Venezuela persist at the country's border with Colombia. Now, this is the scene today. Government security forces unleashing tear gas in an effort to disperse Venezuelan protesters. The president, Nicolas Maduro, has ordered a partial shutdown of that border, denying any sort of crisis in his country. But opposition leader Juan Guaido is still fighting to allow food and medical supplies into Venezuela. Well, Cody Whittle is watching developments in Venezuela for us today. He joins us from the border with Colombia. So, Cody, what is the latest there?
Well, this is a tense situation here. We just got back to the hotel here, and on our way here, we saw civilians in pickup trucks with long guns and bulletproof vests heading towards the Simón Bolívar Bridge. That's where we saw a caravan arrive just moments ago, about an hour ago, at that bridge, urging the military members to allow humanitarian aid to be let in. When they arrived at the entrance of that bridge, that's when we started. That's when they started launching tear gas. They've been launching tear gas really all morning at other points, other border entry points as well. So a very tense situation here. But on the other side, they continue to say that they plan to get this humanitarian aid across. Interestingly, local media is reporting that at least 4 Venezuelan soldiers have defected, meaning that they crossed the bridge and turned themselves in to Colombian authorities to support this effort. We saw dramatic video on social media of these soldiers sort of laying down on the bridge as Colombian officials told them to get on the floor because they still had their rifles in hand. But so far, the army and the military has not defected en masse. They're still blocking protesters and people who are trying to accept that humanitarian aid here on the Venezuelan side and also on the other side as well.
So still siding with Maduro, as you say. So how will this aid actually make its way into Venezuela?
Well, I spoke to an opposition lawmaker just outside of the bridge there, and I asked her that. I said, what happens if the military eventually doesn't allow this aid in? And she said, no, we're going to get it in no matter what. So she didn't explain to me how they're going to make that happen, but they seem determined. And there are sources within the armed forces who have said they're reluctant to continue repressing people and using tear gas and rubber bullets. But for now, that's what they're doing on the streets out here behind me now. And the real worry here is that this is going to escalate. There are colectivos here that is basically armed pro-government paramilitaries. We've been seeing people who we believe belong to those groups in the streets. And so the real fear here is that this could turn even more violent, including gunfire.